Imagine this. You climb a set of stairs, reach the top without breathlessness, and your legs feel steady. No wobble, no pain. That's not luck, that's biology working in your favor. And the secret isn't locked in a gym. It's right on your plate. As we age, our muscles go through a quiet transformation. They don't just get weaker, they heal slower, lose resilience, and are more prone to injury. Many people think, well, that's just getting old. But science now tells us, aging is not the villain, poor cellular health is. And here's the good news, we can feed our body in a way that keeps our muscles younger, longer. Dr. William Li, a world-renowned physician and researcher, explains that certain foods do more than nourish us. They activate our body's built-in defense and repair systems. Just like how a gardener uses the right fertilizer to bring a plant back to life, we can use food to revive our muscle fibers, reduce inflammation, and maintain independence well into our golden years. So, what are these foods? First, berries and pomegranates. These are packed with polyphenols that reduce inflammation and protect tiny blood vessels that deliver oxygen to your muscles. Better blood flow means faster recovery after even a short walk or light exercise. Let us begin with a simple truth. Recovery is not the privilege of the young, nor the domain of athletes alone. Recovery is a birthright of every human being. Yet, as we age, we tend to think it is something that no longer belongs to us. We tell ourselves, I'm too old to bounce back quickly. And in saying so, we surrender the very thing that keeps us strong, our ability to repair. Muscle recovery is not about chasing medals or setting records. It is about preserving balance when you walk, holding yourself upright when you stand, and keeping the strength to carry your own shopping bag. When muscles recover well, life itself feels lighter. Without recovery, even the smallest tasks begin to feel like climbing a mountain. Think of a bridge, solid when built well, but over time, the supports beneath it weaken if not maintained. Your muscles are those supports. The maintenance is the recovery. A wise old craftsman once told his apprentice, "The tool you neglect will one day betray you." He was speaking of hammers and chisels, but the truth is the same for your body. Every step, every lift, every twist depends on muscles that have been cared for, and care is not only rest. It is feeding them the right materials to repair and grow stronger. A wall is not rebuilt without bricks, and a body is not rebuilt without nourishment. You see, when you eat well after activity, whether that activity is gardening, walking, or light exercise, you are giving your body those bricks. Amino acids from protein act like skilled workers, repairing the small tears that naturally occur in muscle fibers after use. Antioxidants from fruits and vegetables sweep away the dust left behind from that repair process, inflammation and waste. Without them, the work slows, just as a worker slows when the workspace is cluttered. But recovery is not just physical. It is also an internal signal. When the body senses it is cared for, it responds with gratitude in the form of better energy, steadier balance, and less stiffness. Neglect recovery, and the body becomes like a neglected garden, overrun by weeds of fatigue and pain. This is why the foods you choose after movement are like the gardener's water and sunlight. They are not luxuries, they are essentials. Berries, leafy greens, fish, nuts, legumes. These are not simply items on a health list. They are tools for the craftsman, seeds for the gardener, bricks for the builder. Each one plays a role in ensuring your muscles are not only repaired, but kept youthful in their resilience. Now, the second truth. Certain foods have the power to awaken something ancient in your biology. We call them nutrient-rich foods, but they are more than that. They are messages to your cells, instructing them to repair, to protect, to endure. Food is not passive. It speaks to the body, and the body listens. When you eat a handful of blueberries, your body hears, reduce the fire of inflammation. When you eat spinach, it hears, widen the pathways for blood to flow freely. When you enjoy a serving of salmon, the message is, calm the storm in the joints and muscles. Over time, these messages accumulate, building a language of health within you. Imagine a small village after a storm. Roads are blocked, roofs are damaged, and debris is everywhere. If help comes late, the village struggles. But if strong hands arrive quickly with tools and supplies, the repairs happen swiftly, and life returns to normal. Your muscles are that village. Inflammation is the storm. Nutrient-rich foods are the strong hands that come to repair the damage. There is a story from the mountains about a farmer who always planted his seeds before the rains came. His neighbors waited until after, saying they did not want to risk losing them. But when the rains ended, his fields were already green while theirs were bare. "You cannot wait for the perfect time to nourish the earth," he said. "By then, it is too late." In the same way, you cannot wait until you feel pain or weakness to nourish your body. The time to feed recovery is before the decline begins, not after. The body is remarkable in its design. Inside each muscle fiber are mitochondria, tiny engines that produce energy. With age, these engines slow down, but certain foods act like fine oil for these engines, keeping them running smoothly. Dark leafy greens, nuts, whole grains. They keep the engines humming so that every step, every lift, every movement feels supported from within. Blood flow is another key. Your muscles are only as strong as the blood that feeds them. Imagine a river that feeds a valley. If it becomes blocked, the valley withers. But if the river runs clear, the land thrives. The polyphenols in fruits like pomegranates keep that river clear, carrying oxygen and nutrients exactly where they are needed. Some people think recovery comes only from rest. Rest is part of it. But without the right food, rest alone is like leaving a cracked pot in the cupboard. It will not fix itself with time. Food provides the materials for the repair. Rest allows the workers to use them. Without one, the other is incomplete. Longevity is not the absence of aging. It is the mastery of aging. It is understanding that every day is a choice between feeding your decline and feeding your vitality. When you choose foods that help your body repair, you are choosing to invest in tomorrow's strength, not just today's comfort. Think about the times you have felt your strongest. Not necessarily the most athletic, but the most capable. Perhaps it was carrying a grandchild, climbing stairs with ease, or waking up without stiffness. That feeling is not a memory. It can be a recurring experience. If you choose to support your body the same way every day, it is easy to underestimate the quiet power of nutrition because the results are not always immediate. We are used to pills that act in hours, treatments that promise quick relief. But food works differently. It builds you in layers, day after day, like a slow river shaping stone. You do not see the change each day, but in time, the strength, balance, and vitality you gain are undeniable. If there is one lesson to carry with you, it is that muscle recovery is not something you earn in a gym. It is something you preserve at the table. The foods you eat can either accelerate the loss of strength or slow it down to a whisper. And certain foods have the ability to speak directly to your body's deepest repair systems, telling them to protect your muscles, nourish your cells, and keep you moving freely through the seasons of life. The choice, in the end, is not complicated. It is as simple as reaching for the foods that work with you, not against you. Every meal is a conversation with your body. Ask yourself, what am I telling it today? Am I giving it the tools to rebuild, or am I letting the structure weaken? Because in the quiet moments when no one is watching, when you rise from a chair without effort, when you walk without fear of falling, when you carry your own weight through the day, you will know the answer. And it will be written, not in words, but in the strength of your own body. Longevity is often spoken of as if it is simply the art of living longer, but in truth, it is the mastery of living better. There is little value in adding years if those years are spent confined, in pain, or without the strength to do the things that give life meaning. The real treasure lies in extending the time in which your body can serve you well, where you can walk without hesitation, stand without strain, and wake each day without feeling imprisoned in your own frame. Inside the body, there is a constant conversation happening between your cells. Some cells speak of building, repairing, and protecting. Others whisper of decline, surrender, and shutting down. Which voice grows stronger depends on the signals you send. Food is one of the most powerful signals of all. Each bite tells your cells either to strengthen or to weaken, to fight for your health or to let it slip away. There is a story of a man who had 2 fields. One he cared for daily, watering, removing weeds, feeding the soil. The other he ignored. At first, the difference between them was small. But as seasons passed, one became rich with crops while the other turned to dust. Both fields were the same age, with the same potential, but only one was nurtured. Your body's longevity is much the same. The care you give it daily shapes the harvest you will gather in later years. On a cellular level, longevity foods act like guardians at the gate. They reduce oxidative stress, the rust that slowly eats away at the machinery of life. They improve blood flow, delivering oxygen and nutrients to the farthest reaches of your body, so even the smallest muscle fibers receive what they need. They protect mitochondria, the energy producers, so that you can move, lift, and stand without feeling drained. In this way, longevity is not a grand event. It is a series of small victories won daily inside your body. Consider the role of inflammation. In youth, it is a friend. It helps heal wounds and fight infections. But with age, it can become an unwelcome guest who refuses to leave, slowly damaging muscles, joints, and organs. Certain foods, rich in antioxidants and healthy fats, gently show this guest to the door. They do not force the body into silence. They restore balance, so that healing and protection work in harmony. But knowledge alone does not bring results. Longevity is built on consistency, not occasional effort. Many people make the mistake of thinking, I will eat well for a month, and then return to my old ways. But the body remembers every choice. Just as a tree does not grow strong from a single day of sunlight, neither will your body stay strong from a single week of good food. The power lies in repetition, in a steady rhythm of care. There is wisdom in the old saying, small streams make great rivers. The meals you eat may seem small acts, but over months and years, they carve the shape of your health. A handful of nuts instead of processed snacks, a bowl of berries instead of sugary desserts, a serving of fish instead of fried meats. Each one is a stream feeding the river of your vitality. Daily small changes matter, because the body adapts to what it receives most often. If you flood it with sugar and processed fats, it learns to live in a state of stress. If you nourish it with vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and healthy oils, it learns to live in a state of repair. Over time, this difference is not measured just in numbers on a medical report. It is felt in your ability to move freely, to recover quickly, and to live without constant fatigue. A teacher once told his students the story of 2 potters. One made a beautiful vase every so often, when he felt inspired. The other made one every single day. At first, the first potter's work seemed better, but as years passed, the second potter's steady practice gave him unmatched skill. The same is true for health. Inspiration may get you started, but only steady, repeated effort shapes lasting strength. The beauty of daily changes is that they are within your reach. You do not need exotic ingredients or complicated recipes. The foods that promote recovery and longevity are often simple. Green leafy vegetables, brightly colored fruits, legumes, nuts, whole grains, and fish. They work quietly, without fanfare, but their effects are profound. The journey is not about perfection. There will be days when you choose less wisely, when convenience wins over care. But what matters is the pattern, not the occasional slip. If most of your days send the right signals to your cells, the body will continue to work for you. It will protect your balance, preserve your energy, and keep your movements fluid. In the end, longevity is the art of showing up for yourself every day. It is the understanding that the strength you will have in 10 years is being built or eroded by the choices you make today. It is knowing that your body is not an endless resource to be used without thought, but a living companion that responds to the respect you give it. When you eat, ask yourself, will this choice help me stand, walk, and live with ease in the years ahead? If the answer is yes, you are feeding not just your hunger, but your future. And when your future self rises from a chair without effort, when you climb a hill without stopping to catch your breath, when you reach for something without pain, you will know that these daily acts of care were worth it. Your body, like a well-tended garden, will continue to yield strength, balance, and life. And every step you take, every movement you make with freedom and confidence, will be a silent testament to the care you chose to give it. It's not about eating these once in a while. It's about creating a daily rhythm where these foods become part of your life. Just like brushing your teeth, every meal is an opportunity to tell your body, I am on your side. So next time you shop, remember, you're not just buying food. You're buying more walks in the park, more games with your grandchildren, and more years where you can live on your own terms. Because longevity isn't about adding years to life. It's about adding life to your years.